Okay, there we go. Here are some of the big clients that we worked with. Probably you know some of those names. And that's basically it. And I'm passing my word over to Volodymyr, who is our AI engineer, and he will tell you very much interesting information about this topic. Okay.
Thank you, Valeria. Hi all again. I am Volodymyr Patek, AI engineer at CloudFresh, and mostly I'm responsible for AI services and infrastructure on Google Cloud Platform. They will discuss why we should writing and try hard our good prompts, what actually Gemini can give us with the right prompts, and how to actually make them achieve best results. So, question, why should we do it? You might be surprised, but actually the most successful prompts averagely have around 21 words, and mostly people use only 9 or even less words. You can ask what a difference in details, and details actually matters because the more context you give to AI, it more understand your request, and the most accurate result you'll get. So what is prompt engineering? It's actually about creating these effective prompts. And if you have a quality input, quality prompts, you have also quality output. So I'll show you some of the techniques to advise it, to achieve it. First of all, best prompts mostly have all the same foundational elements that can be actually easily recognized. What actually we need to do to get right prompts? Let's take a look. Here, for key elements, it's a persona, task, context, and a format. Let's go into details. What about a persona? It simply describes who the model pretending to be. So, like we want maybe achieve that AI knows some sort of have some sort of experience in some fields, like senior UX designer. And we can also add like with a knowledge in designing retail sites. Example also, it could be like your director of engineering with a knowledge in gaming development. So that can be actually pretty useful. Another one, it's a task. So it simply describes what we want a model to accomplish. So here we add instructions, our ask, and step-by-step guides. For example, it could be write a mail with structure defined by me. Another one, it's a context that actually giving the model contextual information. So it could be like information about your client, like his needs, his preference, his technical experience, and so on. For example, we can mention that our client unfamiliar with the project, so assume it and give him some details. And last one, it's a format. It simply specifies the format of response, like table, list, elevator pitch, bullet points, and we can, for example, define actually a mail, like here's the structure of email. Please don't forget that here would be an image in the middle side, and at the end, I'll send the client a pricing. So we can define the format here. Also, here's optional elements like examples, mostly used for case when we have many solution or many ways to solve a problem. Like most common case, it's AI agents, as you all know. If you have on your side AI agent that, for example, help in customer support and technical support, you should give him some examples, like when client, for example, ask about email, it's the customer support, but if a customer has some bugs, it's the technical support. So sometimes it's pretty useful. What about follow-ups? It's mostly about splitting hard tasks into smaller ones. So if you have many questions to AI, you can simply ask it step by step and achieve your results. Limits is pretty obvious. Yeah, so we want to limit the model to avoid hallucinating, like no more than 600 words, or for example, uh, write only this information and other information should be hidden. What about style and tone? It can be like official tone, and also can style be like bold text or like number text. So what about tone? It could also be like write to a Zoomer auditory, so use some slangs and so on. Here's a good example how to actually structure your prompt. So remember these four key elements. It's a persona, context, and task. This format. And here we go. Persona would be you are Google Cloud account executive. Context that it is draft a door opener email, so it's a first email to our client. Task would be to persona based on challenges in the customers 2023 Q4 quarterly report. And a format including limits, limit to 250 characters and use bullet points. Here's good example with difference with about from like simple prompt to a more enhanced prompt. You see that in first prompt we have like simple steps to user journey for someone downloading an app. So no objectives, and like user could be a kid, it could be an old man. So we don't know here what actually is. What about an app? It could be a gaming app, could be medicine or retail. So it's pretty hard to define that user journey. In the second one, we have create a table that outlines the steps for a user journey for a young person downloading new puzzle game from a Google Play Store for their Pixel phone. So here would be a format, table, here more context, young person, and also more context about our app. New puzzle game. Is actually essential? Also, here's some additional prompt tips, starting from obvious, that we need to write instructions instead of questions. Then go for image generation. You mostly all know this advices like subject settings, distinctive subject, materials, and background. Also, if you have your response after generating text, you can say feedback to your AI model. So if you even don't like a response, you can say it to AI to fix it. Also, if you have uh, some hallucinating in, for example, context, yeah, that AI try to hallucinate with customer data, you could simply input this data again. So just simply edit this prompt. And sometimes, even if you have ideal prompt, you can simply just recreate it, regenerate the text, because yeah, we all know that AI hallucinating, it's not 100% accuracy. Also, what about suggestions? After generating text, you can make this text more formal, shorter, longer, and just rephrase. So it's pretty useful when you like this text, but something is strange. If you're actually interested in prompt engineering and want to get more information, you can follow this prompting guide from Google, 101 prompting guides. So how to actually create these prompts, so more advices and some more tips, starting from virus thing, yeah, that I'm pretty sure I mostly use, just writing to Gemini, turn this prompt into something more powerful. So we just write this at the start, paste our initial prompt, and copy paste results. But don't forget also to reread it and add some more contextual information. Also, you can create your own prompt engineer gem. Basically, it's a custom assistant designed to strengthen your prompts. You just go to gems, create new one, and pass instructions on how to write best prompts. Actually, you can select some of these guides from this presentation and use there. So it would be like your own prompt coach. And it's a demo time where I show you some of the examples. Our format would be 3 examples with a bad one prompt and a good one with enhancement. So don't worry about UI view. It's only for demonstration purposes. It's like the same as your Gemini, Google Gemini, as you see here. So let's start. Firstly, we ask the AI, give me some user data in JSON format. It's like format for technical specialists. And here we have one example with one formatting, another one example with more information like register at, and third example, more complex user data. So yeah, we can here see, so there's here one example, like one user. Here are 3 examples and a lot of waste text. And it's enhancement prompt. Let's go step by step without no rush. Yeah, what about persona? Act as backend developer. Then we go to the task, formatting and limits. Your task is to generate JSON array containing exactly 100 user objects. Then we assign that each object must conform the following schema. And here we go. ID, full name, mail is active, role. And in roles, we also add some more limits, constraints that containing like every user should contain at least 2 roles from this list. And some more like context. Do not include any explanations or text outside of JSON code block. Actually, mostly not context like limitation. Here we go. So here's no text at the start. We see that sometimes can be 3 roles, sometimes 2, but at least 2 roles. Yeah, no one user have only 1 role. Scroll down. Yeah, we see it. Actually 100 user without no any text. So you can simply just copy it and use for our purposes. More common use case with no technical depths. Write a blog post about GCP microservices. So actually here AI decide what structure would be, mostly default, like why microservices script recap, then why GCP, your microservices journey, and like okay, GCP services with at the end of conclusion. And here we see like best practices. For example, I want to tell a client what is GCP microservices. I don't want to go into details. I don't need to say best practices because client don't know even what is GCP. Yeah, I don't need to say best practices. And actually, model decide to use it. We can see that in thoughts, it decided just to creating some of the topics like crafting YGCP for microservices section. So it's under of control. And a good prompt is details and our key elements. Zoom. Yeah. Here, firstly, persona. Senior cloud advocate at Google and give some experience with a professional authority and practical tone. Yeah, so here's mostly for tone and experience. Assign a task. Your task is to write persuasive blog post titled From Monoliths to Microservices. So it's more about the context that the client have monolith architecture, and we want to ensure him to go to microservices. As a context, we add some more what is our audience, what you want to achieve, and the goal is to convenience them that migrating to microservice on GCP is the best strategic path forward. Here's some formatting limits, like format blog post, limit 800, 1000 words, and here's a structure. Here we are more objective, that in some topic only a 3-step guide, and some of the style. Use bold for all GCP services names. Let's see. So what actually a difference that I firstly see that we call a client like migrating to microservices isn't merely about breaking down a large application. So yeah, we explain to clients that don't worry, it's not like headache. We will not broke your application. It's like a drugs to make your life easier. If you, for example, go to previous one in this section, yeah, I try to recreate it. My microservices, we just see before diving into GCP. Let's quickly touch the core advantages and all. And you see that all services like JKM and Cloud Run, Cloud Monitoring, Cloud Pops Up have bold text as we asked. And also getting started topic have actually 3-step. Perfect. And last one example, simply we want to compare some services to write, for example, some table. We want to compare Cloud Run, Cloud Function, and GKE. As we, for example, from a product team, and we actually don't know what is the service. Yeah, I'm new in new company. So we have that it's actually have pretty big table with a lot of information divided on many topics like service type, abstraction, workload type, deployment, and I want to actually simplify it. I need to mention it in my best prompt. Let's start. As we started, for persona, you're a Google Cloud Solution Architect. Your task is to create a comparison table for a client who needs to choose a compute services. Yeah, I can also mention that it's for the new web application. It's actually pretty important to mention. And here we mention a format. Format the output as markdown table with the following structure that mostly relates to format. So rows would be Cloud Run, Cloud Function, GKM. Columns would be service, best use case, cost model, level of control. And we just ask about tone. Easy to understand information. And you see that it's ideally follow our instructions. Like, yeah, we have these 3 rows, Cloud Run, Cloud Function, GKE, and actually we have our columns that we needed. And because we mentioned the client need to create for new web application, we write here that it's ideal for new stainless web application, for example. It's for complex web application, if you, for example, talking about GKE. And for example, we can see that here's best use case. Let's compare with our initial prompt. Use case. Yeah, webhook, data processing. Yeah, here mentioned web application. And here, for example, if you're talking about GKS, yeah, here just complex backends. So it's pretty important to mention such context as its table suits more for us, so for our needs. That's all from my side.
Okay, thanks a lot, Volodymyr. That was a very insightful demo and the session. And moving on to the offer, exclusive offer for the attendees of the Gemini Adoption Series. In case you are planning to purchase Google Workspace licenses or upgrade to a higher tier, you can absolutely do it with us. And if you'd like to do it, we could also get you a complimentary training on Gemini for your team or for your company. So if you'd like to discuss it, or if you'd like to learn more about this opportunity, feel free to scan the QR code, fill in a short form, and our experts, our team will connect with you shortly. Now it's time for the Q&A session. I'm leaving the QR code on the screen. So that stays with you. And in case you have any questions, please feel free to write them down in the chat or raise your hand. We will wait just a couple more minutes. And our expert, Volodymyr, will be happy to cover them. Okay. So no worries. You can always write us if you have any other questions at hi@cloudfresh.com. You can fill in this form. Also, if you have some questions, then our experts will connect with you. You will be able to ask them during the live call. Yeah, feel free to connect with us in any way that you can find. We're always there and happy to help. Um, the next session will take place on October 2. It will be about Gemini app and gems. I think this is a topic that is not really covered yet, especially for me. I will be really happy to learn about gems too, because these are like these very nice AI agents that you can also use to enhance your prompts, as our expert Volodymyr just told us. And yeah, thank you very much for joining us. I'm really hoping to see you on October 2. Have a great rest of the week, and bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, Valeria, Volodymyr.
Yeah, thank you for attendance.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Not this long.
Bye-bye.